All right. So we've broken down the companies or divided the companies into different categories. So our first one is government and business. And with each one, we'll just have however many reps want to talk. But again, you have 2 to 3 minutes roughly. So it'll be a pretty quick time frame for you. So first up is the Center for Biological Diversity. And so whoever wants to speak for that, go ahead and unmute and we'll let you get started.
Hey, that's me. So hi, thank you for having me. My name is Sarah Bailey. My pronouns are she, her, and I am representing the Center for Biological Diversity. So we are an environmental nonprofit, probably most well known for public-facing litigation work protecting various environmental legislation like the Endangered Species Act, public lands, and all kinds of other good stuff. This slide has a breakdown of our different programs, which include a Climate Law Institute, Endangered Species, Energy Justice, Environmental Health, International Program, Oceans, Population and Sustainability, Public Lands, and Urban Wildlands. We have offices around the country, somewhat more concentrated out west with all the public lands. But then there's, besides the fact we're still all mostly working remotely, a bunch of us work remotely anyway. I am talking to you from Buffalo, New York. And I really like this graphic on the left. It's a representation of the different types of species we've helped in the over 30 years we've been around. So going from the center of the circle out, you've got reptiles, amphibians, birds, mammals, fish, and vertebrates and plants, and the color corresponds as well, if you can read them along the bottom. And yeah, just to kind of demonstrate, we really work with like the smallest little fish and invertebrates and bugs and plants to large charismatic megafauna like grizzly bears and wolves. I work within our population and sustainability program, which is, we actually don't have any lawyers. We are more outreach focused about the helping people understand the impacts of human population growth on environment and species. Should I go into the positions we have available now, or is that later?
Okay. You can do that now. Yep.
Cool. I see Go Bills in the chat. That's fun. So I can put a link in the chat once I pull it up, but we have 2 summer internships open. Working with both me and my colleague, our population and sustainability campaigner. One is a campus media outreach, helping us basically develop a media strategy for some campus events we want to do in the fall. And then my internship is, I think it's just called Population and Sustainability Internship, but it is looking at various conservation strategies, and we are looking to see if there are any mentions of human population growth, the solutions we recommend along the lines of reproductive rights to see if there's any inclusion. Our assumption is it's not, so then we want to look into a report where we can make that a recommendation. So yeah, I will share a link to that in the those job postings in the chat. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yeah, and representatives, feel free to send whatever you want in the chat as you're talking. If there are links to your jobs or if you want to send your email, feel free to do that. But next up, we have the City of Knoxville Waste and Resources Management.
Hello, I'm Mackenzie Reed. I'm the Waste and Resources Coordinator for the City of Knoxville. First, I'll start off by saying that we have one AmeriCorps position that we are currently accepting applications for the 2022-2023 year. And that position begins in August. And you will actually go to the CAC AmeriCorps website to apply for that position. And I'm happy to go into details about what all awesome stuff you'll be doing in our office if you're interested, but I'm just going to give a little bit of a breakdown of the programs we manage. So we are the Waste and Resources Management Office. We're located in the City County Building, downtown Knoxville. We have several programs we manage. So we manage the solid waste management facility on Elm Street, which hosts both a transfer station and a household hazardous waste facility for the public and for commercial entities. We also manage all of the downtown trash and recycling. So outside of downtown, we have a contractor, Waste Connections, who picks up all the residential trash and recycling, and we manage that contract. But for our downtown, it's actually city crews who pick up that trash and recycling. We manage about 300 small commercial businesses with their trash and recycling. We manage the contract for curbside garbage for 59,000 households and curbside recycling for 31,500 households and growing. We manage 5 recycling drop-off centers where residents come and bring their separated recyclables to. And then we also just launched a very exciting food scraps drop-off program for the public. It's a pilot program right now, so we're in the beginning stages, and hopefully it all goes very well so we can expand that program. So there's a drop-off for food scraps, and then it goes to a local farm to be made into compost and put onto their garden for growing food for our community. And then we also have a program called Conserve, which is a low waste certification program for restaurants. Currently, Good Golly Tamale is our only certified Conserve restaurant, just because we launched right before the pandemic, but we're hoping to get that back and going. All these programs, we really utilize our AmeriCorps to help with education and the day-to-day tasks of that. And like I said, I'm happy to go into detail in the breakout sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Next up, we have the East Tennessee Development District.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Hendrick. I'm the Deputy Director / Environmental Planner at the East Tennessee Development District. And we are an economic and community development organization founded by the state legislature in 1966 to provide services to the 16 counties and 56 municipalities of the Mid-East Tennessee region. So we have staff to really serve any need those communities might have. We have a housing and historic preservation planner. We have 2 transportation planners. We have 4 regional planners who work with planning commissions, so they will help make sure zoning ordinances are set up properly. They look at plats, and we do a lot of development work in that area. We have a pretty big grant staff who does a lot of grant administration and grant application services. I'm the, as I said, environmental planner. So we do kind of, that encapsulates a lot. We started out really in that program doing solid waste planning. So we do needs assessments for each of the 16 counties of the district. A couple of years ago, just as the pandemic started, we did a region-wide needs assessment for solid waste, kind of looking at the flows of materials into and out of the district, and looking at as solid waste problems grow due to population growth in West Tennessee. We're looking at an inflow of materials coming from outside of our region, which is going to put a strain on our own resources. So we're looking at, what are we going to do going forward? And we also help with recycling infrastructure planning. So we make sure, especially our rural counties, we try to help make sure they have the infrastructure in place that they need as their own populations grow. So we can apply for funding to get some of the equipment that they need or will need as those needs change. We do some parks and recreation planning. We apply for grants through TDEC to do trail planning. We try to put in sports complexes in communities that maybe don't have the fields they need to serve their populations. We do public outreach and education projects. We're working on a grant currently with some professors from UT to do some watershed education in some of our more rural counties. We help with environmental reviews for funded grants, and those are pretty big undertakings. And yeah, that's pretty much our environmental program. We're always hiring for intern positions, kind of on a rolling basis. And I would say if anyone is looking for a position, you can email me directly, thendrick@ettdd.org, and we can see what we have available. We can usually offer up to 20 hours per week, and we have, as I described, lots of areas we work in, so we can kind of cater positions to the specific interest of the applicant. And I guarantee you we have something that you can help us out with. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want, you can drop your email in the chat just so everyone will have that easily at hand. Thank you. Next up is Green Century Capital Management.
Hi, everybody. My name is Annalisa Trizzo. I'm a shareholder advocate with Green Century Capital Management. Green Century is an environmentally responsible mutual fund company based in Boston. We aim to provide individuals with a way to invest their money that aligns with their values. So we are the investment advisor to 3 mutual funds, and we work to make an environmental impact in 3 key ways. The first is through our sustainable investment strategy. We aim to invest in companies with high environmental, social, and governance criteria. We also screen out companies from our funds in industries that we view as either environmentally or socially harmful. The screen that Green Century is best known for is our fossil fuel screen. So we don't invest in any companies that take part in the sort of fossil fuel supply chain. Secondly, we run an in-house shareholder advocacy program, which is part of the team that I'm on. And our team presses dozens of companies every year to improve their sustainability practices on issues like preventing tropical deforestation, reducing plastic pollution, setting GHG reduction goals, and that kind of thing. Lastly, Green Century is the only mutual fund company in the US that is wholly owned by environmental and public health nonprofits. So 100% of the profits that we earn from managing the Green Century funds go to those groups to support their campaigns to pass single-use plastic bans, to increase renewable energy, and other issues. While we don't have any openings right now, I'd be happy to speak with anyone who might be interested in careers in sustainable finance or investing or corporate sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, next we have Shelton Communications Group. Sorry about that. You can go ahead now. Yeah, and I actually, let's see, I don't see their representative's name in our participants, so we can come back to them. They might just be running a few minutes late. All right, so next up would actually be Solar Alliance.
Hi, I'm Harvey Abalata, Solar Alliance. I do want to say that when y'all get all your resumes together, make sure you send them to us first. We are hiring all kinds of positions. I guess one of the things I want to say about our company is culture is very important to us, and we're always looking for like-minded people. We're a very diverse company. We go through a process with our clients, evaluate, reduce, and produce. And so in the evaluation process, we do feasibility studies, we do grant work, we do energy audits, monitoring. In the reduction process, we do, soft starts, anything to reduce energy. So building envelope, LED lighting is probably the primary thing. And then on the production side, we do solar projects. We're just starting a community solar project for the city of Knoxville, which is going to end up to be about 1 megawatt. And then we've got one in Kentucky for the utility there, LGE. Again, another megawatt project. One thing we did learn about the pandemic is people want 3 things in this order. They want toilet paper, they want a gun, and they want solar. So at least we got in that top 5 list. So I'm pretty excited about that. With that, though, we've got a lot of positions that are open. We're specifically looking for engineers. We're looking for salespeople. We're looking for estimators, installers. So skill sets, electrical, roofers, carpenters, civil engineers, energy audits, grant work. So the list goes on and on. Definitely looking for estimators and salespeople. I've got one specific job that would be just, we have to find the exact perfect person for it. And basically it would be a brand management. And we're going to peel off part of our company, and it's for a product called PowerShed. So we've got a joint patent with the University of Tennessee. It's patent pending. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. It's completely submitted. As I understand, it could be 1 year to 2 years before we hear anything. But PowerShed is an independent unit that was designed to work with robotic mowers. And so the idea of PowerShed is you could site a robotic mower in the greenway in I-40 where there's no power there and you're not sending people out fending for their lives at cars pass them at 90 miles an hour. You can put a robot out there and then go ahead and mow day and night. So with that, what I want to say about a brand manager is this person would be responsible for the launch of this product, which means everything that is involved in it. And that is, to me, would be a very exciting job out of high school, because it's going to, or college. It's going to challenge all your skills. It's going to be writing, it's going to be marketing, it's going to be sales, it's going to be engineering, it's going to be working with manufacturing, sourcing materials, tweaking the design, understanding what our customers need and making it better. So we're thinking about adding options to it where, right now it's a solar panel design with battery storage controllers. It's got communication, so we can add LED lighting to it. We can add a weather station to it. We can add a security camera to it. There's all kinds of things that we could do with that. And so it's a matter of finding the specific markets like turf management, or it could be landscape lighting, et cetera. So, for me, out of college, that would have been a dream job, because you're just doing everything. There's not a single day that's the same. So I can go on and on for probably about another hour. I won't do that to y'all. I will put my contact information and encourage you to send your resumes to us first. Thank you.
And they can always learn more in the breakout room in just a little bit. Awesome, thank you. All right, next up, we have the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy.
Hey y'all, my name is Brady Watson. I'm the Civic Engagement Coordinator with the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, otherwise known as SACE. And we're a regional nonprofit based here in Knoxville, but we've got staff kind of all over the Southeast. You can see the states we work in on the little map there on the graphic, but we've got folks, like I said, stationed all over the region, and we do a lot of work here in Tennessee, but also North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida primarily, and a little bit in Mississippi and Alabama. But our work is primarily focused on policy advocacy and data. We have a lot of technical experts that do reports and data analysis, and we do a lot of interventions at things like public utility commissions and utility integrated resource plans and things like that. And you can see kind of some of the areas we work in. Obviously, our main aim is to advance clean energy and renewable energy throughout the region. We have a lot of focus on clean electric, specifically transportation. We are, strong advocates for advancing energy efficiency programs to cut down on, the need for more energy, and then general utility reform. So here in Tennessee, we do a lot of work with TVA, for example, and then some of the other investor-owned utilities in other states around the region. But that's a little bit about us. I will say right now, I'll drop this in the chat here in a second, but we're hiring a communications coordinator. So we do have a comms team that helps us, put out action alerts and emails and all the reports that we do, and then social media. And this role will be mainly focused on the social media aspect. I don't do a ton of comms, but I know they're looking for someone with specific experience doing like analytics and data for like Facebook and Instagram, and that's good with like graphics and things of that nature. And I think they're actually accepting applications and doing interviews, I think, right now. So if you're interested, definitely feel free to apply. Like I said, I'll drop that link in the chat, and then I'm happy to talk with y'all later as well. But yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you. All right, so now we're moving into the fieldwork category. And so we'll go ahead and get started with our first company here, Green Heron Compost Services. I don't think their rep was here, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss out.
I'm here.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. So my name is Kat McDearris. I'm the owner and founder of Green Heron Compost Services. So a pretty young company still. We started about 2 years ago, and 2020 doesn't count. So basically been in business for a little over a year. We've seen a lot of growth in that time and a lot of great responses from the community. All that said, we're a composting company. So we serve residences and businesses around all of Knox County. So we're not just limited to city of Knoxville. We're kind of gradually expanding outward. But what we do is food scrap collection and organic waste collection, and then we convert all of that material into compost so that it can go back into the earth. So I'm sure a lot of you know the basics of composting, just given your background, but our goal basically is just to divert as much organic waste as possible away from landfills so that we can then put it back into the earth. And we have a bit of a unique business model because we're working with partner farms. So we do have a somewhat industrial facility, which is actually still kind of a partner farm, but our own facility where we're now manufacturing compost to sell a premium compost. We're doing a little bit of research there as well, and trying to figure out the best methods for composting with the least amount of carbon footprint possible, basically. So going back to what Mother Nature does on her own. So opportunities that we have, we're still a very small company, so we don't have any full-time positions available, but we're doing a lot of workshops and education. We're always happy to have people come out to our farm, our facility that we're building up, and see how everything works, get some hands-on experience with what we're doing, what we're tracking, what temperatures matter, things like that. So learning opportunities, definitely a lot of those. Again, we work with partner farms, so all local farms, we deliver food waste to them so they can then compost it on their own and have a essentially free resource of fertilizer for their crops. So those farms are always needing volunteers or people to help out, and they're all such cool people and always willing to teach, give you hands-on experience. A lot of people are homesteaders. There are a couple really large farms, 200-acre farms, you know, so it's really all over the map. So if anyone would like to get that hands-on experience, then we can help facilitate that relationship with the partner farm to go and just see what they're doing and see what methods they're practicing. We work primarily with no-till, so they're using latest methods and doing some of the best farming methods that we know of to date. So that's really nice. We're also needing interns for social media. That's one of those things that I'm definitely very bad at that. And so I've had a few people helping me with that in the past. And at this point, we are ready for potentially another social media intern. And again, that would involve a lot of education opportunities, workshops, and stuff like that. We've started working on some educational videos. And so if there's anyone with the film experience, we'd love to mingle that in with sustainability and as much education as possible. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. And if anyone is interested in those internship positions or any volunteer or educational experiences, I'll drop my email in here so you can just reach out to me directly.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have IAM's Nature Center.
All right. Hi, I am Sam Shorey, and I'm the volunteer coordinator at IAM's Nature Center. For those of you that aren't familiar with IAM's Nature Center, we are a nonprofit 318-acre nature center, less than 4 miles from downtown Knoxville, just over the water in South Knoxville. IAMS is committed to inspiring people of all ages, abilities, and walks of life to appreciate and to care for the natural world. And right now we offer hundreds of education programs. We have special events. We have a lot of volunteers. And we feature 12 miles of hiking. We've got mixed use trails, public access river dock, swimming, boating, biking, climbing, everything that you can want outdoors. And in order to keep that going, we need a lot of help. So we have opportunities for federal work study students, AmeriCorps members, unpaid interns. And if you can't commit to any of that, just volunteers, of course, to contribute to the mission. At IAMS Nature Center, these opportunities are in natural resource management, that is on ground, working with invasive species removal, also on the river. We do care for a 9-mile stretch of the river. So we spend a lot of time pulling debris out of the river. We also have opportunities in leadership and development, some education, and even special events. So there's a lot going on out here, and we're always looking for help, and I'll go into more detail for anyone who wants.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next up, we have the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. We have a couple of divisions represented here, but I think one rep is going to talk. And then on the next slide, I have listed the divisions that we have here with TDEC today.
Great, thank you. Yes, I'll be just doing the brief intro for this section. My name is Mark Valencia. I'm with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. We are a very broad organization with all kinds of career opportunities. I'll just do a quick overview and we'll get going. The Department of Environment and Conservation exists to enhance the quality of life for citizens of Tennessee and to be stewards of our natural environment. Our department is committed to providing a cleaner, safer environment that goes hand in hand with the economic prosperity and increased quality of life in Tennessee. We deliver on our mission through managing regulatory programs that maintain standards to air, water, and soil quality while providing assistance to businesses and communities in areas ranging from recreation to waste management. We manage the state park system and programs to inventory, interpret, and protect Tennessee's rich natural and historical and archaeological heritage. TDEC is one of the largest and most diverse departments in state government, with job opportunities located throughout the state. Types of career opportunities include biologists, chemists, ecologists, geologists, health physicists, engineers, environmental scientists, civil engineer, park rangers, human resources administrator, recreation administrator, natural resources manager, attorney, communication specialist, archaeologist, marketing specialist, and so much more. So there's plenty of opportunities available. We're going to have 3 breakout sessions. There's going to be one with the office I'm part of, the Policy and Sustainable Practices, Division of Water Resources, and our state park system. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And I have those offices listed here on the next slide. So again, each of those divisions will have a separate breakout room for you to join. All right, next up we have the Davie Tree Expert Company.
Myself. Hello, everyone. I'm Vincent Smith, and I'm here with the Davie Tree Expert Company. And I'm here to talk about not only our full-time positions, but as well as our internship opportunities. If you're not familiar with Davie Tree, we were started over 100 years ago by John Davie, and we started as a tree care company. And while still providing that service, we've also gone into the environmental space. There's a large section of our company that just focuses on that, and we work with both private and public entities, large and small. And you can learn about what we do and join us to provide those services, both on the tree care side and on the environmental side, through our internship program. Everything on the tree care side, that would be for a arborist trainee, where you go out with the tree care crews and learn about what they do and how they accomplish that mission on a daily basis, as well as you can work in a position as an environmental technician, where you're going in, not necessarily, you will be in the outdoor space, but you may be in a lab space or in different venues delivering that type of service. So it's a great variation. You can do varied things depending on your area of interest, and Davie Tree is looking for folks who are as excited about the environment and protecting the outdoors as we are. So I'm willing to talk a little bit later. So thank you for being here.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so now we're moving on to our service category. So first up in this one is our AmeriCorps reps.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leah Fontaine, and I am the program specialist at CAC AmeriCorps. So we are actually an intermediary program that places AmeriCorps members all over Knoxville and even the East Tennessee region. So we have folks in Anderson County and then down to the Great Smoky Mountains. So it's a wide range. We have 4 different programs that I'd love to talk to you more about. The first is our environmental positions. Those are year-long contracts, full-time. We also have some nonprofit support positions. Those are also year-long, full-time. But then if you're still a student for the next couple of years, we also have some part-time programs focused on food insecurity, which also reaches into the agriculture field a little bit as well. And then we have 5 summer positions, one with Beasley Farm, and then some others with the Muse Knoxville and the summer feeding program. So as you can see, we have a ton of different positions. I honestly believe we have a position that would fit anyone. And I'd love to tell you more about those and talk to you about some of those opportunities. With these, we do offer some benefits. All positions come with a living allowance. It's modest, but members make it work. At the end of service, everyone receives an education award. And we also really work hard here to build a community of AmeriCorps members. We usually have anywhere from 60 to 100 AmeriCorps members serving in this community at any point in the year. So it's a built-in community. I see some alum actually and some current AmeriCorps members on this call. So hi friends, it's good to see y'all. So hope to talk to some of y'all later.
Awesome, thank you, Leah. Next up, we have Beasley Community Farm.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sarah. I'm the education coordinator at Beasley Community Farm. And like Leah had just mentioned, we work closely with CAC AmeriCorps office. I'm a CAC AmeriCorps alum. A little bit about Beasley, we are working to increase food security through produce donations. We also do that through accessible education and providing access to land and resources for gardening. So we grow about 10,000 pounds of produce in Malcolm Martin Park, which is in Mechanicsville, not too far from UT's campus. We do a whole lot of different education for all ages for youth and adults related to gardening and food. And then we also give away seeds and seedlings, and we provide space for folks to grow food. Folks who tend to get involved with the farm are usually involved in the capacity of either being a volunteer with us. There's a lot of volunteer positions throughout the work week, and we have monthly work days. We also have interns throughout the growing season, so that's the spring, summer, and fall. And then like Leah had just talked about, we do have AmeriCorps positions. Each year we have 5 different AmeriCorps each year. And yeah, so there's various ways to get involved with Beasley, and I can talk more about that in those breakout rooms.
Awesome, thank you, Sarah. Right, so next up, we actually have a representative from the University of Tennessee Office of Sustainability.
Thanks, Alexis. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay Price. I'm the Sustainability Manager in the Office of Sustainability, and had to give a shout out to Leah Fontaine from CAC because she was an AmeriCorps member with the Office of Sustainability a few years ago. So she's moved on to bigger and better things, and great to see you, Leah. So that's one of the things that we definitely have in the Office of Sustainability. We have 4 full-time AmeriCorps positions that are open. 3 members are returning, so you can serve for up to 2 years typically. And so we have 3 returning, a total of 7. The 4 positions we have open are in alternative energy and transportation, in data analysis. I'm blanking, sorry, but it'll come back to me. So let me jump back to our mission. Our goal is to make Orange green on campus by promoting a sustainable and equitable campus community. We do lots of different programming on campus. Kind of 4 things I really wanted to highlight. Recycling is a big part of what we do. Lots of volunteer opportunities, including game day. One of the pictures you see there is game day volunteers collecting material right in the midst of all those fans coming to campus. We also have a compost facility, lots of research opportunities there and volunteerism as well. Plenty of student worker positions there as well if folks are interested in student positions. We have a grow lab on campus, which is a small garden area with a pollinator habitat section. We grow food for the Big Orange Pantry, and we engage in lots of research opportunities as well. And finally, the free store, it just opened. So imagine a thrift store with no money changing hands. So that just opened last week. We're having a grand opening celebration tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. The free store location is 915 22nd Street. So just between main part of campus and Cumberland Avenue on 22nd Street. So come check us out. Lots of volunteer opportunities there, basically every day. We're open 4 days a week and may be able to expand if we get more volunteers and student workers. We also have an internship program. We'd love to talk to you more about that, and work study positions available as well. So thanks. Hope to talk to you, several of you soon.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So next, we just wanted to take this time to talk through some job search strategies. So I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, but my name is Alexis Andershock, and I actually serve as the career coach for any student at UT that's interested in a career within agriculture or environmental sciences. So many of you today could schedule an appointment with me and I'd be your dedicated career coach. So today I just wanted to give a really brief overview about finding jobs, and you can honestly use this interchangeably with searching for an internship or even a part-time job as well. So to get started, the first step, you want to identify your values. So think about what priorities you have for that job or internship. Is there a workplace or a lifestyle value that you have? What are your long-term goals, and how does that fit into the positions that you're looking at? You want to identify a key list of non-negotiables. So what do I mean by that? That's a list of things that you're not willing to budge on. Maybe it's that they pay you for the internship. If that's a non-negotiable, then that's going to be something that you're not even going to submit an application unless they have that. We of course limit, or we encourage you to limit that, maybe 2 to 3 non-negotiables. As small as a list that you can make of that is going to help you expand your opportunities. And you can always apply and then try to see what happens. But we do encourage you to have that list beforehand. Think about what you're willing to accept before you ever start applying. So next is assessing your situation. So what opportunities are in your interest area? You're hearing these very things today. What opportunities there are in Knoxville, what opportunities there are in Tennessee, or even the Southeast and other locations as well. And so think about what opportunities there are, what qualifications are needed for that. A lot of organizations today mention, volunteer work, internship opportunities. So there's lots of ways to get involved with that. And you can maybe dive a little bit deeper into, what qualifications specifically do you need for those full-time jobs in the breakout rooms. Think about what ways there are into the field. I will say, as a semi-outsider of the environmental sciences industry, it is very well connected. So everyone knows everyone. And so you could chat with someone today and they probably know someone at another organization that you're interested in. And so I think a key way to get started in this environmental industry is to start networking, start connecting with people. So I'm really proud of all the students here today to go ahead and start that part of your job search journey. Step 3 is gathering your application materials. So of course, that's going to be things like your resume, your cover letter, practicing introducing yourself or giving an elevator pitch, connecting with who's going to serve as a reference for you. These are all things that I can help you with, especially if you want your resume looked at, which we would always encourage you to get somebody to look at it before you submit it. Help writing a cover letter, if you want to practice your elevator pitch, or even if you're trying to brainstorm, who should I use for my references? And then step 4, develop a plan of action. So this is going to be that next step. You're creating a plan of how you're going to track your applications. So you're going to be submitting a lot of them, whether it's for a summer internship, part-time job, or a full-time job. So it's a good idea to have some sort of system in place. A lot of students choose to just make an Excel spreadsheet and list out, all of the places they're applying, when they submitted that application. That way, okay, it's been 2 weeks, maybe I should follow up. So you have all of that information in one place, as well as a way to track your materials. So when you're submitting materials, you might make some minor adjustments depending on, the internship or the job, especially with those cover letters. So it's a good idea to title those documents with something specific, have a folder on your computer where you save all the materials for that one position you're applying for and have multiple folders. just to make sure that you're not accidentally, submitting anything incorrectly. And then we also recommend creating a schedule for yourself to make sure, you're staying active in that job search. A big piece is just maintaining some consistency when you're submitting job applications. You always want to be applying until you've signed that offer. And that can be a lot to process and think about, but you do want to keep submitting those applications. So a lot of students will create a schedule based on how they manage their classes. So maybe there's a way that you have found that works really well when you're trying to keep track of your homework. Just try to modify that to make a schedule for applying for jobs. That can be, maybe it's just a mini goal because you're not a very structured person. You don't like, routine, doing the same thing every day. That's okay. Maybe you're just like, I'll apply to 3 jobs each week. That's fine. I've also worked with students that are very structured. They like routine. And so they're like, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 until 9, I'm looking at jobs and submitting applications. Just find whatever works best for you on that schedule. So some ways that you can job search, and that includes, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, or internships. Of course, online search engines or platforms like Handshake, Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, things like that. You also want to go ahead and sign up for newsletters or however you can get notifications on those platforms. It's a good idea to stay ahead of the game. So if you know a position is available, as soon as it's posted because you signed up for a newsletter, then you're going to get to submit that application. It's not going to disappear before you get the chance. You also can research specific platforms for your area of interest. And so when we think about things like Handshake, Indeed, LinkedIn, those are general job search platforms, but there are actually specific ones based on certain industries. And you can, as a UT student, find links at the bottom of what can I do with this major, which you can access on our main Center for Career Development website. So I'll drop the link in the chat in just a second, but you would go to that, scroll down to featured resources, click what can I do with this major? And there's lots of pages in there, pretty similar to the major terminology, but you could look at any of them related to the environmental sciences industries. And when you scroll to the bottom, you can see specific platforms based on that industry. Another job search strategy is attending job fairs or networking events, just like you're doing today. So you're here at a networking event, that's a great first step. If there's any conferences that you can attend within that, go ahead and try to attend those, whether it's you're going to get to show a poster presentation or you're just going to connect with individuals. That's always a good opportunity. Join a professional association if you can. A lot of them do have student rates, and some of them will even have a career page on there where they let their members share their jobs that they have available. So that's a good strategy to add to your belt. Directly contact employers about positions available. So yes, you're going to see lots of jobs on platforms, but sometimes it's a good idea to take a step back, think about the employers or the companies in your industry area, go to them, directly contact them about the positions that they have available. Utilize your network to find positions. This one can definitely be a secret strategy to find a job. Not everyone is using their network, but it's a great way to find those job opportunities, internships, whatever you're looking for. They might not have a position at their company, but maybe they know somebody at another one that they're willing to connect you with. So definitely work on growing your network. And then connecting with potential employers or University of Tennessee alumni on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, you can go to the University of Tennessee's page. There's an alumni tab. And you can type in by company, location, or even just type in keywords. So that's a good way to try to find someone that you have a connection with. UT is your connection. You have that connection, so they're likely going to reach back out to you, and you can hopefully learn more about that organization. Some job search, just key points and tips here. Job search success is going to be the indirect proportion of how much effort you put into that. So like I was mentioning earlier, you have to stay active, you have to stay consistent with that. So however much effort you're putting in, that's going to be that result. And the more effort you put in on the front end, probably the faster that job search process is going to go for you. Set a goal, like we talked about, create that schedule that's going to work well for you. We always say, try to make time for job searching as if it were a class, just to make sure you are putting in that effort that is needed. But always be prepared for that search to take longer than you plan, especially for Some of the government positions, they will have a longer application process, especially with the federal agencies. So just be prepared for that. And it's always going to take a little bit longer than you anticipated. We always recommend try to start, roughly 6 to 8 months before you're actually hoping to have that job. Stay positive through the no's. So you're going to submit a lot of applications. You're going to get some no's, but that just means you're one step closer to the yes. So try to think of that in a positive light. Just keep pushing. That offer that you were really looking for is going to come eventually. But to get to it, you got to get through some of those no's. So try to stay positive through it. Keep track of your contacts. So the people you meet today, keep track of their emails if they've shared them with you. Try to stay in touch with them if you can. Any contacts that you have, just to make sure you are, keeping that network of people you have. Some Center for Career Development and Academic Exploration resources. I alluded to Handshake earlier. And so that's a career portal that has job search engine. It has all of our career events. You can follow employer profiles on there. And so it's a great place to get started. We have a lot of online resources on our website, so career.utk.edu. You can also schedule career coach appointments. Those are scheduled through Handshake. Again, you would click agriculture and environmental sciences industry, and that's going to pull up my calendar. We can talk about any career topic. I have them listed there. Maybe it's deciding if environmental sciences is for you, right? Or maybe it's reviewing your resume. Or I'm applying for jobs, but it's not working out just yet. Can you help me talk through some strategies? So it can be about anything and multiple topics if you need it to be. We also have peer career advisor drop-in hours. Those are virtual and in person. We have their students trained to review resumes, cover letters, and also conduct practice interviews with you. But the main thing is if you ever have any questions, just email me. Even if you're having trouble scheduling an appointment, just go ahead and email me and I will drop that in the chat as well. Here's a resource for you and I want to help you in any way that I can. All right, so now we are actually going to transition to the networking portion. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we will go ahead and open the breakout rooms. So let me do that. So I've just opened all the breakout rooms. Students, you should be able to see them and go ahead and click into the breakout rooms that you want to. As far as employer representatives, you might be able to see them as well. If you can't, no worries, just go ahead and unmute and we can place you in that breakout room. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. We're really happy to have you here for our Sustainability Career Mingle.